Let's welcome our guest. Was she so hot that the game hot potato is now called Harris Faulkner potato? Oh, we're running out of these people. I'm here today with Harris Faulkner. She anchors Fox Report Weekend, or FRW for you people in the know. Saturdays and Sundays, 7 p.m. Eastern, Fox News Channel. And butterflies get tattoos of her on their ankles. Yes, butterflies have ankles, and they have tattoos. Look at them before you crush them under your feet. It's author and columnist and Fox News contributor Jedediah Bila. And the post office forwards his mail to a rundown toilet at a rest stop in New Jersey. It's my repulsive sidekick, Bill Schultz. And if acting talent were a moped, I'd ride him while on vacation in Barcelona. Sitting right next to me, the great actor, the great singer, the great philanthropist, the great hat wearer, Robert Davi.
A-Block, the lead. That's the first story. Which Ewok were you in Jedi, Greg?
It's unnecessary.
Answer the question.
I was the third one. Should brown bag raise a red flag? Well, they want certain language to languish. An internal memo, is there any other kind, from Seattle City Hall, a hall in a city, has urged employees to avoid using potentially offensive words like citizen or brown bag. Elliot Bronstein of the Office for Civil Rights says many people in Seattle aren't U.S. citizens, so it's better to use terms like residents. And he says brown bag is also bad because of the brown bag paper bag test, which historically was used to determine if black people were light enough to be allowed into events or homes. He's just trying to impress people. Instead, he advises using sack lunch, which to me is disgusting, or lunch and learn. That's my preferred term. Meanwhile, in other censorship news, a Tennessee newspaper editor was fired for running an editorial called "Take Your Jobs Plan and Shove It, Mr. President." Says his boss bowed to pressure from Obama supporters. And that if this headline had referenced Bush, he'd still have a job. He'd like that job back. But you can't always get what you want, if we've learned anything from this dog's experience. You know what that is? That dog is the American public, and that little cookie are jobs. Thank you, President Obama, for turning us into starving dogs. Harris, let me go to you first. Do you believe that brown bag and citizen should be seen as dirty words?
I know that this will shock you. I've been black my whole life.
Really?
Wait,
yeah.
what?
I had never heard of this. I'd never heard of this.
Neither have I.
Now, I've tried to get into nightclubs when I was younger and single, and they had a hotness scale. It did not involve a brown bag, something else I'm told.
Yeah.
Sometimes I got in, sometimes I didn't. But a brown bag, they're just fishing. They want to protect offensive-ness.
Yeah.
That seems silly to me.
Mm-hmm. You shouldn't, should you? You shouldn't.
But what
it's
if
not offensive.
Some might not offend anybody else? You can't. What are you going to extract every word from the English language?
I am offended by the game of hopscotch because I think, you know, who would want to jump over Scottish people? Robert, here's my theory on this. This guy did this to impress upon people that he had some kind of historical knowledge about the meaning of a word that he'd read on Wikipedia like the night before and said, wow, I didn't know brown bag meant that, so I'm going to write about it and make myself seem really important and really cool and really progressive, when in fact he's a big D-bag.
I think this whole topic is very difficult.
Yes.
No, first off, this is like ridiculous, this scrubbing of our language.
Yes.
Scrubbing of our language. I mean, it's like going into a surgical room and putting on antiseptic. Well, you know what happens when you use too much antiseptic? You get bacteria.
That's
you
true.
don't grow. We're gonna absolutely clean up the society. What about the music that has really vile music, lyrics? How come I don't see that? Brown bag? My dad took a brown bag to lunch.
Yeah.
I grew up like that as a kid, his thing. I mean, and these other things about the Jehovah's Witnesses, which God bless everybody. They should believe how they want to believe.
But one, come on.
But the whole thing, Halloween and this and that and birthdays and dinosaurs and this whole story, it makes you want to pull out your teeth.
Yeah.
Listen, people, say what you want to say out there, okay? Don't let them bring you down. Burning books stopped a long time ago. Say the words. Say it.
Wow, wear the hat.
You know, I got
Never get the close-ups.
I gotta tell you.
You come over, you get the close-up right away.
I loved you in The Notebook, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No, he was in License to Kill.
No, he was in The Notebook.
No, I
License to Kill is a Beastie Boys album. Rise up!
Yeah. Anyway, Jedediah.
Yeah.
They claim that this isn't a ban on words, but merely suggestions. Does that make it okay if they're just suggestions?
No, because they're telling you don't do it. I mean, there is no such thing as a suggestion. It means that if you do use those words, you're going to wind up getting in trouble in some way. So no one's going to use them if they suggest you don't use them. Citizen, that's ridiculous. I mean, they want you to replace it with resident because God forbid you offend someone who's not a citizen. It's going to get to a point where you know how you have those banned words that you have? Well, we're all going to have a little dictionary or a big dictionary of words that we're not allowed to say. And it's creating a nation of babies. It's like we're an infant generation. You can't say anything to us without us getting offended in some way. It's stupid. It's ridiculous.
You know, Bill, it's interesting. You have done far worse things than this newspaper editor who got fired, but still managed to hold on a job because you knew the boss. Oh, wait, that was me. Anyway, I thought I'd point that out.
You actually did something similar after you got fired.
What?
You changed the editor's letter in Men's Health,
Yes.
but you did it after the fact.
Yes, I did.
So you knew that you had to do it after you got fired.
Yes.
This thing isn't a story. This guy had been warned multiple times. They've allowed him to do 46 different editorials against Obama. What this guy did was he waited until the editor left on a Tuesday, came in and changed it himself. Yes, he should have gotten fired, and they have allowed him to print anything he's ever wanted to say about Obama. This is my favorite part. The one time they said no to an editorial was when he wanted to present his views last week when he referred to pornography as a, quote, miracle product and touted the benefits of pornography, saying that if teenagers were watching pornography, it would result in lower teenage pregnancy. I agree with you on that.
You actually think it has nothing to do with the title, though?
No, they have the liberal page and a Republican
page. So if
page.
he had replaced it with a title that wasn't so crass but was still anti-Obama, you think it would have been fine?
He lied and said that he did not know that this was a policy because he'd been warned about it before, and this was the last straw.
I still think there's some hypersensitivity component.
Well, there is. Editors get real sensitive when you do that.
Well, I don't understand. If he was lying, why did they lawyer up and say, well, but you've been fired retroactively?
No,
I mean,
he said he'd been fired.
Well, maybe there's something to the point that he was ignorant of it.
I would say there's a lot about ignorance, but it's all on him. Although the porn thing is good.
I want to go back to this kind of like benign censorship that's growing. What's going to happen next? All the little sayings like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. People are going to go, you can't say that because then somebody might throw a baby out.
Yes.
And you can't throw babies out unless, of course, they're unborn. Anyway,
people are going to stop talking to each other and just text.
Exactly.
That's what'll happen.
But what if you?
There'll be no language. There'll just be people saying whatever they want on the text.
But what if you text, I killed 2 birds with 1 stone? They're going to send the ASPCA after you. You killed 2 birds?
Well, if they get the text.
Yes, that's true.
And I don't think we should kill birds.
No, you don't. No, that's
Wiener kills 2 birds with 1 bone. He text.
Ladies,
wordplay, people.
Ladies and gentlemen, a terrible wordplay at that. All right.
Matter of fact,
yeah.
we don't want you to say that anymore.
Thank you.
Okay.